Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new to my channel, my name is Amy. I'm an online reseller. What that means is that I go to places like thrift stores and garage sales, buy things that I can find for cheap to then resell online. I mainly do that on eBay, and I also utilize a couple other platforms as well. So today I want to do another what sold video for you guys. We are still a little behind, trying to get caught up the best I can. But obviously, you know, it's been kind of busy. It's Christmas time and things like that, and that keeps me busy. If you guys have seen any of my recent videos, you've heard me talking about an incident that happened to me about a month and a half ago, and so I've had like doctor's appointments and things like that as well. So I've just been really busy. There's been a lot going on, guys, but trying to get caught up, get us back on track so that we're really up to date with our sales videos. Right now we're going to go over the sales from November 26th through December 2nd. I have 19 sales to go over with you guys, so stick around for that. All right, guys, so I want to go ahead and get into these sales. We're going to start kind of backwards. We're going to start with our other platforms and then get into our eBay sales. I just want to get those other platforms out of the way because there's only a few sales. First up, we have a sale on Depop. As I told you guys before in my last video, I do not sell a lot on Depop, but I did sell a few things here and there over obviously the course of those couple weeks of these last couple videos. So this was a sale on Depop. I don't think I have had any more since then. So I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I just sold like multiple things kind of close together on there. But normally I don't really sell a whole lot on Depop. So that's not usually featured in my videos. I also have stated I don't have a lot of stuff cross-listed on Depop because it just doesn't seem to get the traffic. And so it was kind of extra time consuming to cross-list on there when I wasn't really selling that much. But it's kind of one of those catch-22 situations. If I had more cross-listed, would I maybe sell more? Maybe. But I wasn't cross-listing more because I wasn't really selling. But anyway, it's always helpful to get an extra sale from somewhere. So this Depop sale for this time frame was these pair of Lucky Brand ballet flats. Bought these for only 85 cents at the bins, approximately, and they sold on Depop for $20. Obviously, if you're not in my channel, you know what the bins are because I talk about them all the time. In case you're new and you don't know what the bins are, let me go over that real quick. It's basically where you pay for everything by the pound instead of paying for each item individually. It's also referred to as the Goodwill outlet. All right, next up we have a sale on Mercari. This was a pair of Carhartt men's jeans. Paid $4.26 for these at our local thrift store, and they ended up selling on Mercari for $20. So not too bad. Carhartt, I've talked to you guys about Carhartt multiple times. I love Carhartt. I think it's a great brand and it sells consistently. Not always for a ton of money, but it's one of those good bread and butter brands. And certain things with Carhartt will sell for a lot of money, specifically a lot of their vintage jackets. So keep that in mind. All right, next up we have two sales on Poshmark. First up is this Nike men's windbreaker jacket. Paid $4.26 for this at our local thrift store, and it sold on Poshmark for $20. And the other Poshmark sale were these pair of Brooks women's athletic shoes. Paid $3.20 for these at our local thrift store, and they sold for $28. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into our eBay sales, which obviously there's a lot more of those than there is on these other platforms. eBay is definitely our strongest platform. It's just helpful sometimes to get those extra sales on those other platforms. I believe in cross-listing because I feel like it puts your items in front of people that maybe don't use eBay. Maybe they only use those other platforms. And could these items have eventually sold on eBay? Possibly. But I was able to sell them quicker by putting them on another platform where the right buyer came along and found them and bought them. So that's why we cross-list. And yeah, I mean, cross-listing, it's up to you if you want to cross-list or not. But it can help you get those extra sales And again, I'm not saying that those things wouldn't have eventually sold on eBay, because they may have, but they hadn't yet, and they did end up selling on these other platforms. So sales that we might not have gotten, or might not have gotten for a while, at least on eBay, went ahead and already got the sale for those. All right, so eBay. First up, we have this Ralph Lauren Polo Sport wallet. Paid only $1 for this at a garage sale, and it sold for $23.98. Next up was a really good sale. This was a G.I. Joe Rat hovercraft vehicle. This was brand new in the box. This was actually mine or my brother's from when we were little. It was probably actually more my brother's. But I've been going through a lot of our old toys from when we were younger. He doesn't care about this stuff. He's basically like, hey, if you can make money on it, go for it. He knows what I do. He's fine with it. So basically, I've been selling off a lot of our old toys, both mine and his. For whatever reason, this was still brand new in the box. I don't know if it was a situation where maybe my mom purchased like 2 of them, one to play with and one to keep in the box, because she did do that with some things, thinking maybe one day they might be worth something. I'm assuming that's why she did that. Or if it was just a situation where she bought this, but for whatever reason, my brother never played with it. I guess that's possible. I'm not really sure. However, it was really cool to have this, still brand new in the box. So vintage G.I. Joe from, I believe this was from the 90s. And it ended up selling on eBay for $75. So that was an awesome sale from something that has just been sitting around since our childhood. Next up is this Guitar Hero 5 game for the PlayStation 2. Paid only about 73 cents for this at a garage sale because I bundled a whole bunch of games together for one price. And that's basically what it broke down to, was about 73 cents per game. And this sold for $18. Next up are this pair of Nike ACG men's boots. Paid $4.61 for these approximately at the bins, and they sold for $45. The Nike ACG is a very good style of Nike to be on the lookout for. That ACG is popular, and it usually sells for more money than just your regular typical Nikes. Next up is this Jim Shore Angel figurine. Actually paid $7 for this at a garage sale. I expected it to do better than it did, but it took a long time. I'm pretty sure that I probably got this at a garage sale maybe last year. I'm trying to remember if it was last year or even 2 years ago. I think it was probably last year. And it just now finally sold for only $18. So definitely not much of a profit there. Probably maybe doubled my money after fees and everything like that. But I definitely expected it to do better than that. A lot of Jim Shore stuff is very expensive and will still resell for a lot as well. But I guess it seems to be certain pieces that do better than others. And this was kind of just a generic angel figure. It wasn't like anything Disney or anything like that. And those pieces typically tend to sell for larger amounts of money. So keep that in mind. Look out for Jim Shore pieces. But if you're looking at something basic, be careful how much you pay for it. You're still going to be able to sell it. But be careful about how much you're spending on it, because you don't want to overspend and then not really, either not make anything or, potentially not make as much profit as you're really wanting to. Again, I mean, it's not like I lost money on this. I probably did double my money, but it took a long time and it sold for less than I definitely wanted to get for it. Next up are these Hoka Bondi women's athletic shoes. Paid about $2.25 for these at the bins, and they sold for $38. However, since they sold, the buyer has opened a return request asking to return them because they did not fit. I just wanted to still go over that sale because it was a good sale, and it brings up an excellent point about how much it sucks when people open returns, but how that is part of selling on eBay. You're going to get returns. It's going to happen. Especially if you sell things like shoes or clothes, a lot of times you're going to get returns for does not fit. So as much as that sucks, and I wish that didn't happen and that wasn't something we had to deal with, it is a part of selling on eBay. And so I don't want you guys to think that that's never going to happen to you, because it definitely will. So keep that in mind. There are returns that you have to deal with sometimes. Our return percentage is fairly low, although for a while returns were kind of going crazy. Like, we were getting a lot of return requests in a row, and it was kind of nuts about a month or so ago. I don't know, and I heard a lot of other people talking about that as well. I'm not really sure what was going on. It seems to have gotten a little bit better for right now, knock on wood, but keep that in mind. Returns are part of doing business on eBay. Hopefully it won't ever be too much or be too bad and mess you up too bad, but it does suck when it happens, because obviously that was a good sale, $38 for those shoes. And now we're going to end up getting them back, have to return the money, and have to wait to resell them. So next up is this Polo Ralph Lauren sweater vest. Paid about $4.99 for this at a Goodwill on an out-of-town thrifting trip, and it ended up selling for $19.97. Next up are these Brigano Cole Haan men's shoes. Paid about $2.64 for these at the bins, and they sold for $30. Next, we had a buyer buy 2 different pairs of shoes from us together. So this was kind of nice because we were able to save on, shipping costs and things like that. Because they bought both of these pairs of shoes, we were able to just ship them together. And so it was kind of nice. We were able to save on shipping, and things like that. One of the pairs of shoes they bought were these Nike men's shoes. Paid $4.26 for these at our local thrift. They bought these for $30. And then there were these pair of Nike Kyrie men's basketball shoes. Same thing, paid about $4.26 for these at our local thrift store. And these ones they paid $59 for. So altogether, an $89 sale from about $8.60 or so that we paid for them. So that's really, really good. And again, we were able to save on the shipping by shipping them together. So all around, that was a really good sale, and we were excited about that. It's always nice when you get people that want to buy more than one item at a time. First of all, you're getting more items out the door in one sale, which is nice. And secondly, a lot of times it'll help you save on some shipping, so you can actually make a little bit more on that sale. All right, next is this Ralph Lauren down puffer coat. Paid about $4.26 for this at our local thrift store, and this sold for $45. Next is this Lucky brand women's boots. Paid $4.26 for this at our local thrift store, and they sold for $29.98. Next, these North Face women's boots. Paid about $2.01 for these at the bins, and they sold for $29. Then we have these Nike Air Force One men's shoes. Paid about $3.60 for these at the bins, and they sold for $30.94. As you can see, it seems like we were kind of selling a lot of Nike stuff during this period, and that's pretty cool. And then finally, our last sale on eBay that I want to go over with you guys was this Tumi duffel bag. This was the best sale of the week. Paid about $7.40 for this at the bins because it was a little heavy. It was like a really big duffel bag. But it ended up selling on eBay for $99.97. So that was really awesome. Paid only about $7 and was able to make like $100. So that's really, really great. Tumi is an excellent brand to look out for. They make lots of different kinds of luggage and bags. I think in our last What Sold video, I talked about another Tumi bag that we sold, I think for like $75 that we had picked up at a garage sale. So always be on the lookout for Tumi. I have not found it a lot. I've probably only found it maybe 3-4 times. It is hard to come by, and a lot of times people want a lot more money for it because it was really expensive to begin with. So if you ever find it like at a garage sale or the bins or anywhere where you can pick it up cheap, I mean, maybe you could find it at the thrift store cheap. You'd get lucky. I don't know that I've ever found it at a thrift store like at all. I think when I've found Tumi, it's been at garage sales and then this one time at the bins. But keep your eye out for Tumi. Tumi. Great brand. Like I said, it's very expensive to buy in the first place, and it also has a very good resale market. You're going to make good money on it, even for resale. So keep your eye out for that. That's it for today, guys. I just wanted to go over those sales. Hopefully I can get another video out soon with the next week of sales. Like I said, I'm trying to get caught up. I think I'm getting a little bit closer. I hope everyone's getting ready for Christmas. Christmas is like my favorite time of the year. So I'm really excited. I love Christmas. It's like 11 days away. I hope you guys all are getting in the spirit. I hope you guys are getting ready. I hope you guys are getting your Christmas shopping done. Whatever else you guys got to do, you're wrapping, and just completely getting in the Christmas spirit. It's like the best time of the year, you guys. I love it. Hopefully you guys love it too. If you have any comments, want to talk about anything we've talked about in this video or anything else related to reselling, leave me comments down below and I will answer any comments or questions you guys may have. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like. It will help the video and it will help my channel. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that way you will be notified every time I post new videos. That's it for today, guys. Until next time, keep on hunting for that hidden treasure.